We're gonna talk about the gerund. Who is still here? Let me see. Sassilas is here. Hello, everybody. Hello, 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 hello. Gabe is here. Jethro is here. Maya. Hello, Maya. Hello, Diana. Hello, Mohammed. Hello, Varvara. Varvara? Did I say it right? Varvara? I don't know if that's your name. It's right. Sorry if I said it wrong. How's everybody doing? So far, everybody's doing fine. So guys, we're going to talk about the gerund. What do you guys know about the gerund? Hey, Cam. What's up? Exactly. Those are the verbs in the ing. Jethro, what do you know about the gerund, dude? Verb in the ing. Yes, Ama. That's it. Is the verb in the ing form. But we have different uses for the gerund. What do you guys know? What are the different uses for the gerund? Kind of, yes. That is one of the uses, Jethro, is to express something that is continuous, something that is in progress. Yeah, that is one of the uses. Mainly we use, this is what you are saying, that is to express continuous or progressiveness, is actually when we're talking about past continuous or simple present, right? Yeah, it helps to form, Ama. Because the present continuous and past continuous, we have to use the present, the verb to be, right? In the present and in the past. In this case, the past continuous and simple past, past continuous and simple and present continuous, you use the verb to be as an auxiliary verb to form the present continuous and past continuous, the continuous form, right? But we don't use the gerund, the ing forms, only for that. We also use for other things. Okay, that is one of the uses, okay, as a progressive verb. Yeah, that is one of the multiple uses. Yes. So as you guys wisely said, the gerund is a type of verbs, yeah, which is used as a noun and ends in ing form. Yeah, not at all. Yeah, so sometimes we use the gerund not only as a verb, we also use as a noun, or we can also use as an adjective. We can transform, verbs into adjectives by adding ing to the verb. For example, if I use the verb gerund, gerund, we sometimes use as well to form like adjectives. For example, interest. Interest is a verb. If I add ing, for example, I am forming the adjective interesting. For example, this movie is interesting. This class is interesting. Is an adjective that I'm giving my opinion about something that is external to myself. Hi, Sam. How are you doing? Yeah. Joking. Yes. Joking. Yeah. That's good, Sam. So we can also use to form nouns and also to form adjectives, the ing form, okay? So don't keep it in your mind every time. I'm doing good, thank you, Sam. Don't keep it in your mind, guys, every time that you see the verb, you know, a word in English in the ing form. Don't assume that this is, you're talking about a verb, okay? Because not always a word in the ing form, it's a verb. Sometimes it can be an adjective, sometimes it can be a noun. It depends on the position in the sentence, right? For example, swimming, yeah, it could be a verb, or it could be a verb in the continuous form, or it could be a noun. For example, the sport, it's swimming, the name of the sport. If I say skateboarding, skateboarding is also a noun, is the name of the sport. The name of the sport is skateboarding, yeah? The name of the sport is skiing. Skiing is the name of the sport, yeah? So remember that the gerunds, the ing form, doesn't mean that is a verb, okay? It means that this, it could be a noun, it could be an adjective, it could be a verb in the ing. To be the verb in the ing form, to be the verb in the continuous form, you need the verb to be. Okay, the verb in the continuous form, you need a form of the verb to be in the present or in the past, and another verb in the continuous form. This is the continuous, okay, present continuous or past continuous, okay? If you don't have the verb to be before the verb in the continuous form, in the ing form, that's not the continuous, okay? So be mindful of that, okay? So far, so good? Is it clear? So far, is it clear? Not clear? Clear? Awesome. All right. Any other comments about the gerund? So let's take a look at some of the functions, okay? Some functions of the gerund, okay? Besides, okay, I'm gonna talk a little bit also about the verb to be, the continuous form, but we're gonna talk about more about the other functions, okay? The first function, as a subject of the sentence. This is one of most common, I would say, uses of the ing form. Sometimes if I'm gonna use an action, for example, as the subject of the sentence, we are gonna use this verb in the ing form. Okay, thank you, Sam. Oh, your name is on the wall. Yes, it is. So if I'm gonna use, for example, a verb, or if it is part of the subject, it's a verb, is an action, this verb needs to come in the ing form. For example, the first one, gardening is, so gardening is the subject of the sentence, is the topic, what I'm talking about. So gardening is a hobby which is beneficial in many ways. So the subject in the first sentence is in action, which is gardening, yeah? The second one, the verb plant, it's part of the subject, because the subject is all of these words: planting vegetables in your backyard. All of these, they are the subject. Planting vegetables in your backyard is a good thing to consider. So I'm giving my opinion about the activity planting vegetables in your backyard. So because this action, planting vegetables, is my subject and I'm giving my opinion, I need to use this subject, this action, in the ing form. So in this case, this is not exactly an action anymore, but I am transforming the action into a noun. So these are nouns now, because I need to transform into a noun. Because remember, the subject, what we use before the verb, usually needs to be either a noun, a pronoun, the name of a person, right? Name of a place. So usually these are the subject. So we need to transform this verb into a noun. Hello, how's it going, Argentinian? So far so good? So this is the most common use of the gerund, okay? When we use as a subject of a sentence. Hi, Adri, thank you. For example, guys, using cook, the verb cook, make a sentence using gerund as the subject of the sentence. Hi, Adri. Make a sentence using cook as the subject of the sentence, please. For example, I'm going to give you guys an example. Cooking seems really hard to me. Cooking seems really hard to me. Instead of profession, think about activity, okay, Ajatro? It's a well-known activity. Perfect, Latois. Cooking is a way to calm down when I'm stressed. Awesome. Awesome. Any other examples? Play sports. Use play sports in your sentence. Play sports. Play sports. Write a sentence using gerund as a subject, using play sports. Play sports. Using play sports in your sentence, right? Use the verb in the ing form, remember. Play sports, build a sentence. You can give your opinion, you can write a fact about play sports. Great, awesome. Okay, playing a sport is good for health. Okay. The best, okay, Tattoo. Playing sports is the best, right? To keep your body fit. That's it. Awesome. Well done. Hi, MB. How are you doing? Yeah? Okay. Awesome. So far, so good. Let's go to the second use. The second function of the gerund. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah. As the subject complement. yeah, as the subject, complement. That's when we use the present continuous and past continuous. Okay, so we use the present the gerund as the present continuous. So we use as the complement of the verb, the linking verb. For example, in the case of the verb to be. So something that you always need to remember is watering the plant. Abby's favorite part-time is taking care of her garden. Okay, so this is a complement of the subject. So it's when you are complementing the idea of the subject. Something that you always need to remember is watering your plants. So when you are complementing the idea, right, when the subject doesn't have a complete, full idea, we are usually going to complete using the verb to be, usually are, is, am, or was or were, and the verb in the ing. Of course, Ambi, don't worry about it. For example, my favorite free time activity is reading books, right? So I'm complementing the idea of my subject, which is my favorite free time activity. Yeah, so the complement is an activity. What about you guys? What is your favorite free time activity? Please write down on the chat. Don't forget to use the ing form. Very good, Latrice. Perfect, Rabbi. My favorite free time activity is going to the beach with my friends. Awesome. That's it. Documentaries. Try to use in the plural, Jethro, because if you say in the singular, it gives the idea that you just like watching one documentary, not multiples. Yeah. So watching documentaries. He's using TikTok. Oh my God, Sam. Cool. That's okay. Awesome. Awesome. The other use, which I have discussed already with some of you guys in other lives, is as a direct object. I don't know if some of you guys were here or not, but there were a few lives in which I talk about using the ing after verbs, right? So there are some verbs that they take the verb in the ing after them, okay? Especially verbs that express, for example, emotions like love, enjoy, hate, for example. They usually accept another verb after them in the ing form. So there are a few verbs that you need to use a verb in the ing, which is the case of enjoy, love, hate, like, the verb stop, start, begin, for example. They accept verbs in the ing after them. I need to open a parenthesis here because these verbs that they work as a direct object after verbs, you might need to check the dictionary, okay, to make sure that you know which ones are they. You need to memorize them. Because sometimes some verbs you need to use the verb in the ing, but some verbs you need to use the verb in the infinitive. Exactly, that's it, Nelia has mastered fencing. So the complement for the verb master is fence, fencing ing, to fence, yeah? For example, the verb want, I want to study, for example. So you need to use the verb in the infinitive in this case. You don't use the verb in the ing form. So unfortunately, these ones, the verb patterns, between verbs and complements, you need to check the dictionary to make sure that you know which is the verb form sometimes. All right? Exactly. But I want to go, right? So in this case, we're using after want the verb in the infinitive. Yeah. Using the verb stop. How can you construct a sentence using the gerund? Especially use sassy lassie. Ouch. Sorry, guys. My knee hurts. I can't stop drinking. Okay, I can't stop drinking. That's one. What else? Thank you, Oliver. How's it going? Using the verb stop. Yeah, that's Lassie. Using the verb stop. I need to stop procrastinating. Yeah, that's it. Well done. Hey, Cam. No chew after better, okay, Jetro? You better stop, okay? You better stop procrastinating. I can't stop laughing. That's it. Awesome. That's it, my friend. That's it. So again, guys, these ones you guys have to memorize, okay, the patterns, because it's a matter of memorizing. There is not exactly a specific rule for that. Most of the times, verbs that express feelings, most of the times, yes. The other common use is as an object of prepositions. So after prepositions, okay, if you are going to use a verb after a preposition, you need to use the verb in the ing form. Okay, so any preposition, with the exception of the preposition to, because you need to pay attention if it is the preposition to or if it is the infinitive form, the full infinitive form. But most of the times, after prepositions, you're going to use the verb in the ing form. Okay? For example, my father takes time in choosing which plants to grow in our backyard garden. A good outcome of gardening is that you get to help the environment. So after prepositions, you use the verb in the ing form. I'm gonna write a sentence on the chat. Please complete with your ideas. Think about the preposition. I'm interested in blah, blah, blah. Complete with your ideas. Please, I want activities, okay? I don't want a noun. I want activities. Which activities are you interested in? Remember to use the verbs in the ing form. I'm interested in perfect. Well done. Let's go, guys. I'm interested in finding buried treasure. Buried with one R, okay, Lassie. I'm good at loving. Okay, Sam. I'm interested in sharing about technology. Okay. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. I'm gonna write another one. I spend a lot of time on. I spend a lot of time on. I spend a lot of time on. On watching the news. Okay. On paintings. Okay. Okay, awesome. Looking forward to. Looking forward to is when you are positively anxious about something, right? It's the positive anxiety, let's say. Look forward to your response. Okay. So wake me up when it's all over. When I rise up and I'm older. When I didn't know I was wrong. So wake me up when it's all over. When I rise up and I'm older. When it's myself and I didn't know I was wrong. I'm looking forward to getting a new job. That's awesome. Awesome. All right. And the last but not least, as in a positive. A positive, okay, is when you are adding extra information about the subject on the sentence. For example, Shane's hobby, gardening, makes her free time worthwhile. So Shane's hobby, that's the subject of the sentence, right? So I'm adding the hobby. I'm identifying what is the hobby right after the subject between commas. This is in a positive. because I'm adding this extra information. Actually, the information is not totally necessary, but I'm adding it. Yeah. My goal, putting up my own garden, will soon be achieved. The same. I'm adding extra information. So sometimes we use the gerund as an appositive to add extra information in a sentence, and usually the position is right after the subject and in between commas, right, just to add this extra information about the subject. All right. Another uses of the gerund, okay, that I'm not showing here because I have talked about those before, and if you guys are curious about, you can check it out, my bio, because my profile, there are some about that, which is to make adjectives as well, because we can use also gerund, the ing form, to make adjectives, and as verb complements as well. Okay, there are more details about that on my bio. Okay. So far, so good. Questions? Let's practice a little bit. Hello, how are you doing, Yasim? Yeah, let's practice a little bit. I'm gonna just a second. There you go. Guys, choose a number, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, please. Choose. 1, cool. Complete the sentence, please. Use the gerund. Singing is my sister's favorite hobby. Singing is my sister's favorite hobby. Singing is the subject of the sentence, yes? Number, choose 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sorry. Richard lives near the mountain, so he often goes. This is a direct object after a verb. Goes to ski. What do you guys think? Richard lives near a mountain, so he often goes. Okay, Rokane said goes skiing. Goes skiing or goes to ski? What do you guys think? To ski. Why to ski? Why skiing? What do you guys think? Skiing. Usually, skiing, we usually use the verb not the verb, but we use the noun after the verb go with the sports with ing form. Yeah, it is a real world, come on, word. Yes, skiing is actually the sport. Yeah, the skiing is the ing form. Yeah, so skiing. No, it's not. It is true. Goes skiing. It's like go swimming, go skateboarding, go camping. Yeah. 2. Very easy. She's delusional. We have 2 options here, okay? You can say Mary's like to watch TV. Americans usually say to, likes to watch, yeah? British people usually say watching, yeah? But doesn't matter. You can say Mary likes watching TV or Mary likes to watch TV. The difference in the idea, it's minimal, okay? So we don't usually consider the difference because it's minimal. But there is a difference, but you can use the to. You can use either the verb in the infinitive or the verb in the ing form. So Mary likes to watch TV or Mary likes watching. The 2 forms are okay. Apples and oranges. But she's delusional because she doesn't have a TV. Let's go. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What do you guys think? Seven? Okay. Eating lots of vegetables is important for good health, yes. Lassie, you can use to eat vegetables as well. That's also possible. But the idea is a bit different, actually. There is a small difference. I'm not going to tell you guys now because it's going to make you guys confused, so I'm not going to explain right now. Let's focus on the ing form, yeah? 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. Eating vegetables. 3, 4, 5, 6, or 8. 3. Two options are correct. I just like skating or I just like to skate. The 2 options are correct. Okay? Because after the verb like and hate and love, you can use the 2 forms, yeah? Jethro, be careful, okay? If the verb finishes in the letter E, you exclude the E and you write down the... Oh, it's not this one. What was it? What number was it? 3? No. Yeah. Oh, see. If you finishes in the letter E, you replace the letter E with I, right? So skating, yeah? 6, okay. Actually, like love and hate, Rabbi, the 3. They take both forms, and there is a difference, to be honest, but the difference is minimal, so we don't consider. The weather in Brazil is quite good, actually, Isra, to be honest. I like the weather, what it's like today. It's not hot, but it's not cold, so it's fine. Exactly. Watching TV is bad for my eyes. That's what my mom says. Not at all, Rabbi. There is a difference, okay, Rabbi, but it's so minimal, girl, that we don't usually consider, okay, the difference, because it's very minimal. So it doesn't matter. 4, 5, 8. Let's go. 4, 5, 8. What do you guys think? Mom is always right. 8. Let's go. Thank you. Lone Wolf. Is that the name? Is he Lone Wolf, the name? Killing animals, yes. That's bad. Hunting, yeah. Yeah. Sorry, guys, I was writing stuff here. Hunting, yes. So he never goes hunting. Oh. 5, 4 or 5, please choose. 5, cool. He enjoys driving. Yeah. The last but not least, let's go. Yeah, this one also there are some tricks. You can use the two forms, okay, for try. Try to surf or try surfing. And I'm gonna tell you guys why. You're gonna see on the dictionary, okay? I'm gonna show you guys on the dictionary. So Jenny tried surfing or Jenny tried surfing. In this case also, guys, after the verb try, there isn't much of a difference. Yeah. The difference is quite really small, you know. Hello, Kane from Panama. How's it going? Oh, you are a surfer. That's cool, dude. Guys, what I was telling you about dictionaries, okay? If you are in doubt, for example, I don't know what form to use after the verbs. For example, the verb try, right? If you do some research on the dictionary, usually they show you the pattern. For example, try to do this infinitive. There is a small difference, okay, if you use the infinitive. So when you say to do something is an attempt to take action in order to do something that you may not be able to do, right? So that is try to do something. For example, Jenny tried to surf. She tried. If she was succeeded, we don't know, right? And the second one, try doing something. So this is the ing form, the gerund. To do or use something for a while to discover if it is suitable, successful, or enjoyable. So in this case, you are testing. But the meaning, as you guys can see, the meaning is very small. So you can use both ing or the infinitive. The difference is very small. Yeah. So if you say Jenny tried surfing or Jenny tried to surf, it doesn't make any difference. It's this tried to surf, Gabe. Tried to surf or tried surfing. The two forms are fine. Yeah. My suggestion, if you are confused, like, oh, I don't know if I use the verb in the ing after this verb or if I use the verb in the infinitive, go to a dictionary, it's much easier than if you are suffering, trying to figure out. Yeah. Any questions, guys? I have 10 minutes, guys, to answer your questions before I have to go. Do you guys have any questions? Any doubts, problems, things that you would like to know? Shoot. It has to be used after prepositions, Rokane. Yes. Most prepositions, yes. My back, why is my back hurting? Because possibly you did a lot of exercise yesterday. Yes, Rokane, you just have to be careful with the preposition to, okay? Because sometimes the preposition to is indicating that this verb is in the infinitive, okay? Just be careful with the preposition to. But the other prepositions, in, on, after, with, without, all these others, they are all the same. Okay? Gerund, Gabe, is the verb in the ing form. Okay? The verb in the ing form, that's the gerund. It's just the verb in the ing form, yeah? That's okay, Sam. Don't worry about it, dude. Using will, TV, I think is your name. I don't know how to say your name, but TV. Will, we use when we made instant decisions, when we are making predictions about the future, and also when we are, just a second, guys. Okay. And when we made an instant decision, for example, I thought about just now, I'll eat some hamburger. I don't know where I'm gonna get the hamburger. I don't know anything about it. And you didn't plan anything. So you just thought about it. That's when you use will. Yes. Will take him as a husband? Yes. Which this question is a little strange, right, Lassie? Because you should be like, are you going to take him as your husband? Or are you willing to take him as your husband? But anyways, right? So will is about when you are not certain about the future, have no certainty about the future, or when you are making predictions, when you're predicting the future, like a very far distant future. For example, I think robots will be very common in the future. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just predicting. I think they will be very common. You would say I'm not sure. I had a cousin at his wedding. He said, "I'm not." My cousin said, "Let me think about." When the priest asked him, the priest asked, "Will you marry? Will you take Fulana as your wife?" And he said, "Let me think about it." I don't like NEP when people give me commands. That's my fucking live stream, and I do whatever I please. And you don't follow me, so no. Yeah, Rabbi, right? Let me sleep on it. I will sleep a little bit. NEP, the only people who I invite in is the people who follow me. People who are usually here. If you follow me, people who are usually here, participate on the lives, are always talking to me on the chat. Gifters, moderators, and subscribers. Team members as well. Hello, Evie. How are you doing? I'm not pranking anybody. So don't ask to chat with me if you are new here, dude. I don't like people ordering me around, This is my live stream. I don't know, ask me another one. Can you imagine, You're getting married and then you said, will you take Fulana as your wife? Oh, that's a hard one. Can you ask me another one? Can you ask me another question? That's too difficult. That's gonna be cool. That's funny. Sorry guys, let me just find an exercise. That would be funny. Thank you, Lone Wolf. What's your name, Lone Wolf? What did that dumbass said again? Oh, what you do to me? Oh, what you do. I'm not gonna prank anybody, Evie. It's not, not my thing. I don't like pranking people. Is gerund. Is a gerund, Rocane, yes. Because these gerund is like an object, a direct sorry, is a direct object, of the verb. Not exactly a direct verb object, but it is a complement of the verb saw. Hello, Fabricio. How's it going, dude? I saw him running. It's like actually a compliment, actually, right? Yeah, yeah. I just blocked a little. Every time I'm rude to someone else, I lose followers. I lose people on the viewers. I was rude to the guy, now I lost viewers. But I'm not wrong, right? Am I wrong? The guy was like, let's chat. Dude, be nice first. Say hello. Dude didn't even say hello. He didn't follow me. And then he just demands that I chat with him. Dude, come on. I get pissed off. There was a dude who came here. He doesn't follow me. And he just said, let's chat. Like, dude, you don't follow me? Nothing. I don't know. Intrusive, no, it's an adjective, intrusive. Usually these words that finish in "eve" is usually adjectives. Let me just check not to say something stupid, but yeah. Yeah, adjective. This ending, okay, Rocane, just to give you a tip, okay? These endings like "eve," "ive," usually they are adjectives. Usually adjectives. Full, for example, beautiful, helpful, these full adjectives. Lee, usually they are repetitive, thank you. Lee, for example, ly, usually they are adverbs of manner. What else? Ed, ing, sometimes they are adjectives or nouns, depends. Able, if it finishes in able, for example, as well. Deniable, for example, these are adjectives as well. These are suffixes. The suffixes usually give you the indication they are adjectives. There are more. Less, I think less is also an adjective. No, because intrusive is not a verb, dude. You just can form a gerund, Rocane, if it is a verb, yeah? What? He said your loss? Oh, fuck him. I'm lovable, yes. Repetitive, yeah. Exclusive? What do you mean? It's throwing you off. Exclusive. It's something that it's just for you. Like you don't share with anybody else. It's specific for some people, not anybody else. Rocane, do you get it? The adjective, that intrusive you cannot use in the ing, okay? Do you want an example, Gabe? For example, spams, they are repetitive messages. Spamming is a repetitive message. Spamming is a repetitive message. Yeah. That's not what he wants. I don't understand what you're meaning anyways, Evie. Exclusive. Exclusive is an adjective. Passive? You were talking about the passive voice of the simple past continuous and past continuous and simple and present continuous, right? That would be being and the verb in the past participle, dude. That would be complicated. For example, if I say let me think.